chapter 8, verse 8, and I've got to explain something here because I've changed what I said in the last video. Um, when I changed, when I was telling the story about this woman was caught in adultery, I changed the word woman to wife. And then when I'm realizing more as I'm reading through it, she's a harlot, caught this harlot. So should I put the word harlot here? And I think that is the best word to be put here. Okay. So I'm going to correct it here. And the last video is going to need this correction. Well, a harlot caught in adultery and set her in front of him. Told him this harlot. So where do I have the word wife here? Oh, woman. It has to be harlot here as well. Yep. Okay. And then, so such a harlot, it needs to be harlot here. Okay. I think that's the way it should be. That they were to kill all harlots off. So that was that. That was a creator's law. That's why they were wanting to know whether it's a stone or not. So now I have the correct wording here. And so he asked them, who was without sin among you will be the first to throw a stone at her. Now, here, this is where this video is going to start correcting the text. Go forward here. I can say all this by using the words backed off, okay? And he was alone with the woman. Should I put harlot here? Yes. Let me go up here and copy this. Down here. Harlot. And then Jesus asked her, where is he to condemn you? Meaning any one of them or to condemn you. So, yes, this should have been just a little h. Now, she calls him my Lord. She said, Lord, but I'm having her say my Lord because she knows who he is. So she has to be an Israeli to begin with. She's a harlot, and now it's to, she's acknowledging that she really believes who he is. You, my Lord, she said, you, my Lord, you can't, you, well, in red. Oops. You, my Lord. And then Jesus told her, I will not condemn you, but go on your way and sin no more. So that's the end of all these verses like this that were added to the text, but I can see that they needed them in the text. And I will concede that I will need them. I am the light for the world. Um, hmm, should I use the word earth instead of world? I might correct that at the end. I don't know. Because I know the Hebrews knew that there was a world, but they always called it earth. So I don't, their vocabulary probably got better at this time, but I'm just saying that I'm trying to keep it consistent. So, and whoever trusts me, not follows me, trusts me, um, will not walk with darkness, um, evilness. They will have my light for their life, meaning that his guidance, they will receive their life with him. And then, yes, they're claiming you are bearing witness of yourself, but your witnessing is not true. And here he's going to reply, not answer, but reply. I bear witness of myself, and my witness is true, for I know where I came from and where I am going. And this is a different type of witnessing, and we have to understand that Jesus is trying to tell them that this is a different kind of witnessing by knowing where I came from and where I'm going. He knows he's going to enter into heaven, be the first one to live in heaven after he is sent to earth. Everybody else went to the abyss. The souls went there. So it's a different way of him trying to tell them why his witnessing is different. And you judge people by the body, but not the flesh. Flesh actually is the correct is the muscles. And that's as keeping with the Hebrew text. Hebrew, when they were offering up their sin offering, the priests used just the muscles, or what it actually represented was the action of the sin. Um, and I don't see, this is just not needed here. And he's also telling them that he was sent with his judgments, because if it's got over here, I do not judge by my judgments. You got to have him saying by whose judgments he's doing them with. They don't put that in the text. I had to make sure that it was there. Here, two witnesses true. If they're honest, then they use it as the law. Um, it's by your laws. Because when it comes down to, well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say by their laws at their time, the way judges were ruling, they were needing two as to be true. Before I can show you that they didn't usually go by two. They went by their best judgment in some cases, where they might not even had a witness. So, um, yeah, I don't think I need to explain any of that. I'm removing this. Why am I removing this? These words he spake by the treasury, he taught as he taught by the temple. No one sees him because the hour not yet come. Well, this is just that. It's just like an added text that's not needed, because here he keeps talking. So that text should blatantly stick out as somebody trying to add as filler, because you can see that he's talking here and he's talking here. So removing those words that do that, and these other words, you shall not enter. Where I'm going, you shall not enter. You can't come there. So Jesus would know you can't come there because he's the one who allows you to enter into heaven. And the people were saying, will he kill himself? Or he said, where I am going, you cannot enter. Yeah, I didn't want, it doesn't need the word Jews here, the people that were just atheists at the time were the really disbelievers of the people. But were the disbelievers always Jews? You see. Yep, I'm going to have to put Jews back in here. They have to be our Jews. Because that's different. That would be like our unbelievers. So our Jews were saying, will he kill himself? Where he said, where I am going, you are not to enter. Okay, that's better. And then Jesus said, you are from below and I'm from above. No, that's not true. Everyone was sent here by our Creator. This world, for I was of the, well, this is reading like this and then a comma. Oh, no, of this world, I am not of this world. You are of this world, I am not of this world. No, that's not true. We are all sent here by our Creator, even Jesus. Don't need those words. Those words are not needed. Die for your sins. You aren't going to die, you're going to live forever. So Jesus wouldn't say something like that. Now, what do I have here? What I've been saying to you from the beginning. Well, they didn't always travel with Jesus, so that's not really, I don't see Jesus saying that at this time and not removing anything important. So those words are gone. Things to judgment. Yes, that needs to be these judgments because he heard from him about how he wants to be able to forgive people. Because when it's understanding forgiveness, it's his judgments of forgiving that's what's being talked about here. This here, they didn't realize, well, that the verse doesn't need to be explained because he's kind of telling them what's going on when I use the word judges, judgments and not things. I had to explain a little bit about forgiveness of the why the judgments are there, but other than that, no, this is not needed. When you lift up the Son of Man, then you'll know that I am He. No, it doesn't really matter. This verse doesn't matter, and I just got Jesus continuing from above. Jesus doesn't not need to rub it into them because he already knows that they're not supposed to know about him, and that's a prophecy. So I just don't see Jesus saying something that he knows that is already going to happen to them and why it's happening to them. Being rubbed in their face. And he didn't rub things in people's face. And the initiative is will. So other than that, I don't think those are too hard to understand why I'm removing and getting rid of the little bit of words and adding those words. We speak these things. Many came to believe him. Um, we know this by people we're listening to anyway. That's those that were gathered there for the Passover or at these times, because that's pretty much what I'm seeing this text as at is in Jerusalem. Because I think we're still kind of talking about um, those guys bringing up a woman in front of him, well, harlot in front of him, and then they ask him these questions. And I just don't see that in another place. It might be I just trying to put the stories in order as I'm going here. And this story is, I'm pretty sure, going to go in when he's in Jerusalem. So they were already believing who he was by what he was saying. So should I leave some of that in? Uh, I guess I'm going to leave it out. It's just understanding that people, um, some may have, yeah, I just don't think that's needed. Because I know that there's always these verses that some were believing, some were not believing. So that's already been covered. Now, therefore, Jesus is saying those Jews who had believed him, if you have lived by his words, you would say to you, you are my disciples. You will know his truths, and his truths will redeem you. So if you live by removing those words, it makes more sense of what he's saying, connected up to here than all these two here. Because these words have to connect with something. I mean, you just can't have them blatantly saying these things in between comments. So, why he sent me, and he has not left me. Thus I always do things that please him. If you live by his words, you truly are my disciples. Um, yes, yes, the word disciples can be used here like that. I just, sorry, so many things click when I'm thinking that truly are my followers. You know, is that a better word than disciple? But then again, if you know about Jesus and understand him as king, then you're describing him as a king. Well, that's what his disciples were going out and teaching. So, yes, be like his disciples, because it's new truths that he's given about his gospel. So these new true truths were being given. You will know his true truths, and his truths will redeem you. So, okay. Now it's talking that someone replied, not they answered, but someone replied, we are Abram's offspring. How is it that you say you will redeem us? Now, I've showed you often how the text, it says, um, Jesus is, um, new screen, a lot of new things here. And I know I have this added. Yes, it's so important. It's colored in blue. This is what they aren't realizing what was said by our Creator to Abraham, and that is in Genesis 17:6. I will make kings of you and shall come forth from you, and I will establish my covenant between you and your descendants. And then in 1818, all nations of the earth will be blessed. And this is what Jesus is talking about here, um, that these descendants from Abraham should know this. I guess I just erred there. They were saying they're sons from Abraham and received his covenant or his promises, but they didn't remember all these promises. And so, how are you to redeem us? Because actually, it's not in Abraham's um, um, writings about Abraham, except for what I just showed you, that I'm saying they forgot. But what they're doing is saying about redeem us means allows us into heaven. Well, that's David's son, and then you have to tie everything together. So Jesus told them, I am saying everyone sins, and I am the Son for man. This Son for man is just what I was describing here. By all nations, earth will be blessed. The Son for man, meaning that for everyone. You see here what's going on here. So he's describing himself as the Son for man, as it was, and I will redeem them, make you free and be free indeed. Well, it's still talking about redeems. It would good if you're free on earth. It's about entering into his kingdom. So it has to be redeem them. I know you are Abraham's offspring, and some of you seek to kill me because my words have no meaning for you. That's because the scribes over time have changed the text and they go on to this female goddess. And that's why he's kind of tell them that, yes, I know you're Hebrew, but the thing here is you're onto the goddess and not onto a creator who created all things. Okay, I got quite a bit here being taken out, so I guess I'll deal with all of it here and then show you what it looks like here when it's cleaned up. I speak the things which I have seen my Father, therefore seen with my Father. Therefore you also do things which you hear from your Father. Uh, it is talking about their forefathers doing the wrong, but I'm not going to edit that in like that. It's just not needed. And they answered him, our Father. They answered and said to him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said to them, you are Abraham's children, but not do the deeds of Abraham. You do not obey like Abraham. You seek to kill me and told truths which I heard from YHVH, thus Abraham did not do. Heard from YHVH, who is this Abraham did not do? So, again, just confusing words that don't need to be said. You do the deeds of your forefathers. Born uh, like their fathers. I'm just trying to think if there's any text in the Hebrew side that would mean that when they married the daughter of foreign god that they're committing adultery, but that's not. No, that's no, because because of these deeds of your father or forefathers. Um, let's see. Um, gee whiz. I didn't add that to my list. Oh, I was gonna show you, and let's see if I can bring this up. Now, come on, quit doing that. This here, I put the two together so I don't have to go back and forth to do these verses separately. But here you can see that Judah, the nation, married the daughter of a foreign god that's sitting in darkness to meditate, to have a sex with her. And over here, Jeremiah calls her the queen of heaven. And you see down here where it says, our forefathers are kings and are they're the king's family, did in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. So the thing here is they were making vows to the queen of heaven. So this was at Jeremy's time, the last prophet of when there was a nation called Judah. So the thing here is this is what's being referred to here as the deed to your father. Um, but the object here is this text isn't needed. And Jesus said, and like these words like right through here, I'm seeing these as something that Jesus knows he doesn't need to convince these people of him because he knows they're already condemned and they aren't going to change and they've already been judged. So I don't see him trying to convince them, okay? But I can see him pointing the finger at them and saying, so their father will be, your father will be Satan, not the devil, but Satan. Um, because Satan is given all others that do not obey our Creator. That's what Satan brags about. All these dominions on earth are mine, and after they die, they belong to me. So this is what's going on, and Jesus is just informing them that your father is Satan because they do his desires, which is, like I said, not obeying our Creator. Yeah, this here is no. This is they don't have the concept of who Satan is. Um, Yet I speak his truth, and they will not believe me. And that's pretty much the prophecy our Creator told them. So, out of all that text, we're only needing this right here. Like I said, Jesus doesn't go around. I I don't believe Jesus was going around that time rubbing it in their faces that whatever I say, you aren't going to make it anyway. You've already been judged, or say it in a different way. And this is text being said in that way, and Jesus is just going to tell them the answer and not explain the situation. All right. Who condemns me? Which will you condemn me of a sin? Because the definition of a sin is of the 12 commandments. Them, they at that time would have known what a sin offering is and what a sin is. It's today that's jumbled up when people would be thinking that the word sin means more than what it is. But Jesus understanding what the word sin is, uh, condemn me of a sin. What is the sin that you're condemning of me that I'm not being truthful, or or you couldn't trust me as obeying our Creator? Um, so, because I got to work with what the verses are saying, but a lot of them, as you can see, are um, not really hooking together as a story. They do look better when they're cleaned up, but they still have that sense of Jesus is blurting this out and blurting this out and then blurting this out. So, um, yeah, I don't see anything here at all that's hard to understand what I'm doing. This here, I went over that real good, that those people don't even exist. Um, the Romans didn't allow other nations or kings to rule under them. That's just not what a kingdom is about. Yeah. Nope. Um, here, Father to our Creator, because when I'm using a title, I'm trying to use the title correctly, meaning our creator of people. Okay. Not creator, but certainly the title does say that, but the title about our creator, meaning the people. Um, and here, he told him, I do not have a demon. I honored our creator, and you did not you did not honor me. May I honor our creator, and you have not honored me. And this is, I guess, what I'm saying, the creator here, the creator of the Israel nation. Okay. Um, Getting rid of these words, because Jesus would be speaking in third person of himself here, but that's not needed. Words like this aren't needed. Anyone that keeps his words, that's you're not keeping, you're obeying. Anyone who obeys my words will live with me, will never see death. There is no such thing as death, even in hell. You're going to exist forever. So let's not make Jesus sound stupid and leave those words in. And he replied, now I know you have a demon. Abraham died, the prophet died, and you say, if anyone keeps my words, will never taste of death. That's why he would never said that. So this would have been replied to by him saying that. Um, and then they're claiming you're not greater than our forefather Abraham. They're still discussing Abraham and the deceiving of the Abraham in the text that they know. They're going by at that time. As did his prophets. Whom are you making yourself out to be? Jesus said, if I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. My Father will glorify me. Yes. that glorifying here coming from our Creator means that He's going to give him a kingdom in heaven. So don't need those words neither. Um, no, don't need those words. Those are pretty much self-evident that don't need to explain them. In this here, like I said, Jesus wouldn't be saying things like that. So, for I know him and teach, I know him, and I obey his words. So, mm, yeah, these are mm, simple edits before Abraham I was created. This goes with other texts, was why I corrected it. I was not born, but I was created. Like I said, when you understand that the verses from Jesus saying, I was before the foundation of the earth, and the earth was made for me, those from earth for me, means he was an angel. So here, what I'm pretty much got out of all the text is that Jesus is his first created being, and then all of us, all the other souls that were made or beings, we call angels, those that truly believed our Creator are still in heaven, never had to come down here to earth, but those that that our Creator was having trouble with, that they finally not convinced that who He is, and probably a thorn in His side, He sent to earth and given them that one last chance. So just think about that, because that's what you're going to get when you realize what the text says after it's cleaned up. Some from the crowd picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus just walked away from them, not out of the temple. They weren't in the temple. I am going to call it quits. I'm just not snappy. I'm slow. I think I've got a cold coming on. I'm being affected a little bit more than I know that I'm not. I can just tell myself by the way I'm thinking and not being able to just snap to it here. So I might have to take a couple days off, get better. But anyways, I'll give it a go when I'm ready again. So, but I will continue to get it done.